The Pearson Lakes Art Center is thrilled to be able to present our 2014 performance season. Many hours and months have gone into creating this incredible schedule, and there is something for everyone. We have a variety of shows and presentations, including the 7th installment of our highly popular Growing Iowa's Economy Speaker Series. Many of our performances will have educational components for the youth or the public associated with them. These performances have been marked with an E. Be watching for public and student workshops being offered throughout the year by our various performers. All of our performances include the ever-popular final set, a meet and greet with performers that come to the PLAC. This is the perfect time to get your CDs, photos, or memorabilia signed by these famous artists. Let's take a closer look at 2014.
Hancher Auditorium at the University of Iowa presents Spencer's Theater of Illusion. This will prove to be one of our most exciting season opening shows ever presented at the Pearson Lakes Art Center. Spencer's Theater of Illusion. Your eyes won't believe what you see on stage. It's one of the finest family shows in performing arts today. If you like David Copperfield, then you won't want to miss this show. You'll be talking about it for a week. How did he do that? See for yourself. Sponsored by Friends of Hancher Auditorium, Pearson Lakes Art Center, and Erpelding Voigt and Company, CPAs.
Get ready to rock and roll as we go back to the 1950s and 1960s with Stingray Anthony, hosted by Connie Valance. Ray Anthony is one of the most acclaimed tribute artists representing the 1950s and 60s in music today. He is endorsed by Ritchie Valance Estate, named Best Live Entertainer in Branson, Missouri, and an award-winning musician for keeping the music of the 1950s and 60s alive. In addition, Ray is known nationally for his role as Ritchie Valance on the famed national touring production of the Winter Dance Party Show. Ray's show at the Pearson Lakes Art Center will be a trip back to the 1950s and 1960s. Slick back your hair and get your bobby socks and poodle skirts on as Stingray Anthony comes to Okoboji. Sponsored by Bob Yeske, Bob's Auto Body, Keith DeCavers, Dowden Hen Realtors, High Tone 5 Corporation, Jim McDonald, Hoyen Real Estate, Ned Smick Henderson, Jason Grinnan, Carlson Sanderson Real Estate and Chaplains, and Strategic Agri Marketing of Ruthven and Armstrong.
Pearson Lakes Art Center presents William Florian, original lead singer from the New Christie Minstrels. Those were the days. It will be an upbeat, energetic musical journey of America's greatest songs of the 60s, including songs he performed as the lead singer of the famous New Christie Minstrels, plus music of Peter, Paul, and Mary, John Denver, Pete Seeger, the Mamas and the Papas, and uplifting originals presented with amusing stories in an intimate show. Remember these hits? Those were the days. Green Green, Blowin' in the Wind, Puff the Magic Dragon, If I Had a Hammer, Leaving on a Jet Plane, and more. Sit back, remember, and love the music, and sing along. It will be Hootenanny Night at the Pearson Lakes Art Center. Sponsored by Mitzi and Glenn Porter and Savvy the Art Dog.
California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.
What an amazing evening this will be when Jason Coleman, the grandson of Floyd Kramer, continues the story of the legendary Floyd Kramer. Floyd Kramer is one of the most recorded piano players in the history of rock, pop, and country music. From his solo hits of Last Date, Crazy, and Stranger on the Shore, Floyd was a longtime favorite on the music charts. In addition, it is his piano work you hear on legendary recordings by such stars as Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, Patsy Cline, Brenda Lee, and the Everly Brothers, with countless others. Kramer's grandson, Jason Coleman, has recreated this amazing show as a tribute to his grandfather. The stage will be using a giant screen to show and depict magic moments from Floyd Kramer's life and career. This will be an amazing trip down memory lane, sponsored by the Goodenow Foundation.
Jazz in the Pomerantz returns with the Headliners. Back for their 11th year, it's a tradition that the Pearson Lakes Art Center presents the headliners for another night of fun and great live music. This has been one of our best received shows for years. It's always a sellout. Don't miss it. Sponsored by John and Linda Hopkins and Bob and Martha Graham, Graham Tire and Appliance.
Coming to Okoboji for the very first time, Michael Martin Murphy. The Pearson Lakes Art Center proud to invite to its stage Michael Martin Murphy. Murphy is a multi-Grammy nominee, holds 6 gold awards, Texas Music Hall of Fame inductee, and a 3-time CMA Award nominee. He is best known for his million-selling hit, Wildfire, called one of the best pop and country songs of all time. Top-selling hits for Murphy include Carolina in the Pines, What's Forever For, A Long Line of Love, and What She Wants. This should be simply an amazing evening of incredible music. Get your tickets early. Sponsored by the Perry and Teresa Pearson Foundation.
On a cold Nebraska night.
It's Membership Week, time for a free show with national recording artist, rockabilly, and Nashville Songwriters Halls of Fame inductee, Buzz Cason. Buzz has written songs for such artists as Elvis Presley, Mel Tillis, Placido Domingo, U2, and even the Beatles. He was even Vice President of Development for Liberty Records and oversaw the careers of Jan and Dean. His music career has seen him as a member of Ronnie and the Daytonas and the Crickets. His new book, Living the Rock and Roll Dream, from Hal Leonard Publishing, has been one of the music's best sellers. Don't miss this very special show and make sure you're a member of the Pearson Lakes Art Center. Sponsored by Tom and Avis Tourville.
Buzz Cason visited our school recently and I really enjoyed his presentation. It was fun and informative. During his lecture, he performed songs that relate to the beginning of rock and roll. He also sings some of his own hits, some of which were recorded by the Beatles, Pearl Jam, Gloria Estefan, and others.
This will be the best blues you've ever experienced live when Sugar Ray Norsika and the Bluetones, Monster Mike Walsh, come to Okoboji. Many of you recognize the name Sugar Ray Norsika, who was the former lead singer for the legendary Room Full of Blues. Sugar Ray brings his ace band to Okoboji, featuring one of the hottest young guitarists in blues, Monster Mike Walsh. Monster got his nickname from no other than Elwood Blues, Dan Aykroyd. The bass player for the Bluetones is Michael Mudcat Ward, who has been named by H.C. Handy Blues Foundation Awards as the best bass player in blues. How's that for a power-packed lineup? 3 top-end stars, just 1 ticket. Buy them soon. Sponsored by Dan and Jane Hummel and Dick and Judy Anderson.
An Okoboji summer tradition. It's the Beatles of improv comedy, the legendary Second City. Enjoy the return of the nation's premier comedy improv company when Chicago's Second City returns to the Pearson Lakes Art Center and the Lauritsen Theater for another summer sellout. The Second City is a real shining light of our 2014 performing season. It's such great fun when Second City takes the stage at Pearson Lakes Art Center. This is the very best of improv comedy. See why. Sponsored by Signet Kim Lauritsen Jones.
Hello, God. God, it's me, Noah. Noah. N-O-A-H, Noah.
The PLAC is proud to welcome Daryl Sturmer's Genesis Rewired. Daryl has been the lead guitarist with Genesis and Phil Collins for over 25 years. It's an amazing evening as Daryl recreates the music of Genesis and Phil Collins. Daryl produced Collins' legendary LP, No Jacket Required, and holds a Grammy for his smash hit with Collins, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. This will be a show you will not soon forget. Sponsored by Mark and Sheila Reed Okoboji Wines and the Dixon Family Chiropractic.
It's a true Pearson Lakes Art Center summer-ending tradition, the return of Dave Rowley and friends. There's no other way to describe this show than Okoboji's reason to have fun and close the summer off in a memorable way. Dave and the band always gives us a great show, and there are more smiles leaving the room than anyone can believe. Be sure and get your tickets early, as it's been a sellout for the past 5 years. Sponsored by Russ and Char Eckert and Marilyn Strickland, Hohen Realty.
From Los Angeles, California, the 50s and 60s a cappella doo-wop of the Alley Cats. If you love the 50s and 60s a cappella doo-wop sound, and who doesn't, then we are pleased to present from Los Angeles, the Alley Cats. These guys are considered one of the top a cappella groups in music today. They have been together for over a decade and just finished touring with Jay Leno. This will be an evening of all-out vocal fun you do not want to miss. Sponsored by the Pearson Art Foundation, Pizza Ranch of Spirit Lake, and Walker Insurance.
The Bighorn Sounds of Chicago comes to the Pearson Lakes Art Center stage when Transit Authority makes their first trip to Okoboji. This 8-piece powerhouse will take you back to all the top Chicago hits. Does anybody really know what time it is? 25 or 6 to 4? Beginnings, Saturday in the Park, Color My World, and more. If you love the music of Chicago, and who doesn't, then this show is for you. Don't miss Transit Authority, sponsored by Dixon Family Chiropractic, Fairway Foods of Spirit Lake, and Terry and Jan Yarns.
As I was walking down the street one day.
First time to the Pearson Lakes Art Center with Beyond Blue, Debbie Ankeny and Mike Springer for the Lakes New Shopper Free Show. We are very excited to bring Beyond Blue to the PLAC featuring Debbie Ankeny and Mike Springer. This will be a free show hosted by the Lakes New Shopper. If you have not heard Debbie Ankeny, she appeared for over 20 years singing nationally with the legendary Anne Murray as part of her show. She is truly an amazing vocalist. We hope you enjoy. Sponsored by Bill Ike Construction.
Happy Holidays with a Damon Dotson, Dave Rowley, and Ryan Stather Christmas. We are excited to get the Pearson Lakes Art Center holidays underway with the return of a Damon, Dave, and Ryan Christmas. Individually, they are the very best. Together, they are simply spectacular. Nothing will get you in the holiday spirit as these three tunesmiths can. A guaranteed sellout. Buy your tickets early. Happy Holidays.
The Pearson Lakes Art Center presents the 7th annual Building Iowa's Economy Speaker Series, sponsored by Iowa Information Publications. Once again, the Pearson Lakes Art Center will be hosting 4 quarterly presentations by some of Iowa's and the Midwest's leading business leaders' minds. The presentations are offered free of charge by Iowa Information Publishers and Printers. Take time to learn from those that are leading the Iowa and Midwest's economy in these trying times.